Welcome to Filmatic. I am your host, the Film Doctor. I might clap with you.
And the film, Sir Jan. Feels so good to do that. And we are back in the operating room with a TV show to dissect. I won't say if it's hot or cold. I don't know yet. I haven't fully made up my mind. Loki, coming to us from Disney Plus and Disney. You know what to do.
Go ahead and hit us with that sponsorship. And as always, let's jump right into our film review. Loki, the whole season, the whole shebang. I liked it. I don't have a problem with it. We got to episode 5, and I was like, I thought that was the end, and then to find out that there's one more, and this is operating table, so there's spoilers are allowed here, so I'm giving away a lot, but I don't really know a lot. Like I've said before many times when we review, Marvel things, I don't know much about the comic books. If there's things that I was told by people, things that were inside of the TV show that were based upon the comic books, that's the only time that I really know stuff. So, Kang the Conqueror, I've heard his name, but I don't know who he is, what his powers are. I had to Google that and everything. I thought that each episode was really good. And the consensus in terms of the structure of fighting, the structure of storyline, how it ended with the cliffhangers leading up into the final kind of episode of each thing. I really liked Loki in general. To have the female Loki and this kind of love interest between both of them, that was kind of a turnoff. The different Lokis on the different world, I really enjoyed a lot of the music. Owen Wilson, that is Owen Wilson, right?
Owen Wilson is Mobius and Mobius.
Wow. I'm not really a fan of them picking him to kind of be.
I enjoyed him in this section.
I hated him. I don't know why. I just hated him. They needed someone that can fight or something. I don't know. I just hate his face. I really not digging him. He wasn't really appealing to me. Neither was the female person ahead of the TVA. The little CGI clock. Creepy.
Miss Minutes.
Creepy. That's a real person, like an actual character or something?
The character's name is Miss Minutes. It's
yes, but it's an actual character from like Marvel.
Yes. Yes, from the comic.
Okay. So I liked that character. I liked the ideal of the storyline that they had surrounding it. It took like a long time for like Loki to come around to be like viewed as this good person. There weren't really a lot of fight scenes in it. I would have liked to see a lot more fighting. It was more like a Marvel drama in some aspect. That's really it. There was a lot of cinematic things that I liked. Kang kind of was interesting, and I like how they opened up the book for the whole multiverse inside of this thing. To me, that should have all been done prior to the release of Black Widow, but it is what it is. This was... And there should have been connection in Black Widow to it too, but that was supposed to be an origin movie, and one can beg to differ. But that's really all I kind of have to say that comes to mind right off the top. If I have to give a rating for it, we're talking about A range, right? We're talking about if it's going to be in that A range, it's going to be inside of that A range. Was it that good? Was it Mighty Ducks Game Changers good? No, but it was very close. So I'm going to give it a B+.
Okie dokie. So I'm going to get the positives out of the way first. I did have fun with Loki. I did enjoy it. His soul searching in the first episode. The banter back and forth between him and the female Loki, or Sylvie as they're calling her. I did enjoy Owen Wilson as Mobius and Mobius. I thought that was actually a really good casting. Owen Wilson has some talent. He just picks a lot of bad movies. So I enjoyed him being cast as Mobius and Mobius. I didn't really have any problems with the casting or anything like that. I thought Miss Minutes again was great and also very terrifying. And shout out to Tara Strong who voice acted Miss Minutes, and she's done everything in the voice acting cartoon world. So established, well-known person. She did a great job again. Yeah, I mean, so let's jump into some of the drawbacks or concerns I have. I'm not gonna call them negatives. So this whole series, minus the first episode, kind of was not about Loki. If we're gonna be honest, again, just it's the same thing with Black Widow. The main character of a TV show is the side character of the TV show. It doesn't make sense to me. And we've had previous conversations about this. If this was any other TV show, people would be saying something about it if it wasn't Marvel. How somebody who's a main character is a side character in the show. It just doesn't make sense. So from that perspective, I have to say that doesn't bode well for it. Additionally, we did this whole series just to set up Kang the Conqueror. That's how I felt at the end. I'm like, okay, so we did all of this just so we could have Kang. And we called it Loki. For what purpose? It just kind of feels like a 6-episode advertisement for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. It feels like a 6-episode commercial for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. That's what it felt like. And I know I didn't pay close enough attention, and I'm not going to be super hard on the ending for this because I did have to go back and see the end credits where they said Loki will be back for season 2. So hopefully we can, actually make season 2 about Loki and not about setting up Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
I disagree. I don't think that it was, whether you call it a setup, you've talked about, people taking the focus off of one person. I think the focus was on Loki and his journey. And the villain wasn't even a villain until episode 6. I mean, it was a non-existent villain, which you didn't even see. And it's almost like an end credit scene. You can consider episode 6 an end credit scene where it's like the big reveal is this is the villain, this is the character, Thanos, Galactus, whoever it is that they're fighting. While the main story still was on, in my opinion, Loki and his journey trying to figure out what's going on as he's incorporated into the TVA. And you could have taken any Avenger and put them in there and given them their own show. Now, I do concur that, to have all these other Lokis, first of all, that was just an added necessity where it was like, okay, are we really going deeper and deeper into this? And no, we're not. We have all these Lokis. But if you're calling it Loki,
sir, can I finish my review?
I can interrupt whenever the hell I want to, and I'm.
Can I finish my? I let you talk.
You did.
Okay.
First of all,
breaking my thoughts up.
Okay, well, your thoughts sucked, and I disagreed with them, so I'm bringing it up.
You feel free to disagree after I'm done.
That's not how it works inside of the operating table.
Feel free to disagree.
I want. There are no rules.
I don't care where we are. I disagree after.
Well, you will care where we are.
I disagree.
I care where we are,
and I
do what the hell I want to do.
Here's 2 reasons why I disagree with you. Number 1. The journey of Loki figuring out what's going on stops after episode 3. He knows what's happening now. Once she tells him that the TVA are all variants and stuff like that, he knows what's going on. The whole show then pivots to figuring out who is actually running the TVA. Going to see the timekeepers or killing the timekeepers and figuring out who's going to see the TVA. This whole show is now set up about who the villain is. Again, an advertisement for Kang the Conqueror. Which we found out at the end was a Mortis, not actually Kang, but a Mortis, he who remains, which is
what does that mean? What is a Mortis? A
Mortis is an older version of Kang, who the timekeepers put in charge to run the timeline to make sure that they continue their existence. Now, Marvel likes, as we know, to take liberties and have their own creative control. So he's a blended character, and there are no actual timekeepers. But that is what it's based on. He who remains. I feel like that is what this was. And again, I'm not going to be too harsh on it though, because I know there's going to be because I know there's going to be a season 2, so hopefully they can redeem themselves in season 2. I'm extending that bridge. I'm not gonna flat out dismiss it just because of that. But yeah, Loki was definitely a side character and a bumbling idiot throughout this entire show. Pretty much up until the end, where Sylvie decides that she's gonna kill him anyway and won't even listen to he's not even asking her to not kill him. He's asking her, like, let's just think about this. Like, that kind of pissed me off. Be like, you can't take a second to like even have a conversation. So yeah, I just I will say this. I enjoyed Jonathan Majors' performance as He Who Remains / Immortus.
I thought that was Theo from The Cosby Show at first. I'm like, who is
I enjoyed his performance. Was he hamming it up a little bit? Yeah, but it was still a good performance. I enjoyed his performance. Overall, for Loki, I'm going to give it a solid B. A solid B. There are a lot of drawbacks. There are a lot of positives. But whatever the next TV show is, whether it's Hawkeye or I think it's What If, Marvel, I need you to stop using TV shows as commercial advertisements for movies. That would be great. Yes, we all want to see the movies, and when you do something like that, right now, it requires everybody to actually have watched a TV show a little bit to know kind of what's going on in the movies. And we're devoted. Me and Michael are devoted. We're gonna watch the TV shows, we're gonna watch the movies, but not everybody out there is gonna be that devoted. And when they come to the theater, they may or may not be confused. So that is my only thing I will say about that. Other than that, I give Loki a solid B. It was entertaining. I definitely say you should check it out and watch it, especially if you're going to watch Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. It is it's a purview that you watch this TV show.
A25, play that verse one. 825, play that first one. A25, play that verse.